Hello Chatterboxes, it's a brand new week, so you know what that means. A new week with lots of new adventures to be had, and I'm going to be taking you guys along on my adventures that I get up to this week. I hope you guys are all having a lovely new week. It's Monday and I have got the day off work. I've got Monday and Tuesday off and I'm not in work till Wednesday evening, which meant I was able to have a little bit of a lie-in. I then got up and had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast. I was just catching up on Neighbours and had quite a few episodes to catch up on, and then I got myself ready to go off and get my hair cut, and I headed off, and it was a lovely sunny day, and the weather this week is supposed to be absolutely glorious, so I'm looking forward to that. A little bit of sunshine can work on my non-existent tan, unlike my brothers who can tan so easily. They tan like that. They could be out in the garden for what feels like 5 minutes and then they've already got tans, whereas I end up burning like a lobster, which is not good. And I headed off to get my hair cut, and just before getting my hair cut I had gone to the shops and got myself a drink and had that, as it was just so warm and I was literally melting. And then I went off and got my hair cut, and the barber that does my hair, my family friend, always does such a great job, and I was having a lovely catch up with her. And then after that I got a massage from there, showing off my new haircut. I absolutely love the confidence boost a haircut gives you. I then went off to get my phone's camera fixed because I dropped my phone the other day and smashed the camera. So I got that fixed. I also got a new screen protector put on because that had broken, and got a phone case, and that was included in the mending of everything. And so I've got a nice new phone case. I've got a leather wallet, one way all your cards go inside of it. The little case is arriving soon, the one I showed you a few vlogs ago, which has got flowers all over it, but this one I'm using for the moment whilst that one is arriving. And then I'll have this one as a little backup, or I can change them in and out if I want to have this one on there or the other one. So change them in and out, and I'll be probably using this one as well. I really like this phone case that I've got at the moment, but also that leather one as well. So yeah, looking forward to that one arriving with all the flowers all over it, but also I'll have to use this as well if I get bored of the other one, or if I want to use this, I can always change them in and out. And then after that I had a look onto the charity shop. I went off into one of the book shops and I love to smell of old books. I then met up with Tash and we headed off to Shelley's to have some brunch, and I had a fry-up breakfast from there, and that was so good, and had a cherry cola from there, and I'm going to show you guys the breakfast that I had. The breakfast was so good. The mushrooms in that we stayed in there for a little bit and we're just chatting away, talking all things about our Brighton holiday coming next month, and I'm so excited and cannot believe how fast it's coming, and just getting all that organised. Then on the way out I got a mirror selfie from there with all these plants around the mirror, and I'll show you guys that. It's so pretty with all the leaves around that mirror. We then headed off to Co-op to get some stuff to take with us whilst on our walk, as we were going to be heading off for a massive walk. So we got some drinks to stay hydrated as it's pretty hot out there, and then we headed off down to our town's castle, and I got some snaps of the castle and some of the flowers from the gardens, and I'll show you guys those snaps. The castle and gardens are stunning. I'd love to do a tour of the castle someday. I just love all the pretty flowers and all the wisteria all over the castle, and Tash got a snap of me in front of the wisteria, and I'll show you guys that. I love all the wisteria all over the castle in front of that window, and I borrowed Tash's sunglasses as it was quite sunny, and I think I walked them. And then we continued on with our walk, and whilst on our walk I bumped into my mate who I'd gone to school with, so I was chatting with them. And then I popped to say hi to my grandma's grave, and then we headed off down all the country lanes and went up some very steep hills. And whilst on my walk I was able to get some really pretty flower snaps, and I'll show you guys those. such lovely colours on those flowers, and I was able to get some really pretty detailed flower shots now that my camera has been fixed finally. And then we came across this gorgeous house with some wallace and grommet and Shaun the Sheep statues out front, and I'll show you guys that. They're so cool, and it's such a lovely house. We then head off for the last little bit of our walk, and it started to get flatter and easier, and there weren't as many hills, thankfully. And then just towards the end of our walk, we got a mirror selfie from one of those mirrors down the country lanes that you can see if there's any traffic coming, and I'm going to show you guys that. Love a mirror selfie, and we've done this walk about 2-3 years ago now, so we had to do it again and got a mirror selfie from that mirror the last time, so we had to do that again. And then we head back to one of the shops nearby and got some more drinks. Stay hydrated, hydration is key. And I got myself a massive bag of Skips, probably one of my favorite crisps, type of crisps. I just love them so much. And then we ended up getting the bus back as our legs were shot, and I got the bus back and she got off by Aldi, and I continued on and got the bus closer to home, so I didn't have as far to walk, otherwise I thought my legs were going to drop off. And then I got back and Bear was very excited to see me and was giving me lots of kisses, so I was giving him some bear cuddles. And then I was just listening to a bit of music and just watching some TV and just chilling, and I got a snap of some beautiful tulips in our kitchen window with the sun shining on them, and I'm going to show you guys that. Love tulips, they're such pretty coloured flowers. And then I was just watching some TV, listening to a bit of music, writing some of my journal, and just enjoying and colouring in and just tidying up my office and dolls and dollhouse and moving a few things about, doing a bit of spring cleaning. And then I had a cup of tea and some biscuits and just watched some episodes of Doctor Who. And then for my tea I had some dippy eggs with some buttered bread cut up into little bits, because I was just really fancying some dippy eggs or eggs and sausage, whatever you want to call them, and I'm going to show you guys those. I haven't had those since being a kid. I remember always having those, and I just really fancied some. We had a load of eggs, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have some dippy eggs, and they were so good, lovely and runny, always the best type. And then I was just watching some of my favourite YouTubers' new vlogs, catching up on some of my favourite YouTubers' new vlogs that were out. And then I was just working on some illustrations and colouring some of those in with my new gel pens, 60 gel pens, lots of colouring in to be done with those, and I'm loving that. And my new illustration pad is huge, and I'm going to be enjoying doing lots of new illustrations with that sketchbook. And I am now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and I hope you guys have all had a lovely start to your week. I shall see you with more of the vlog coming tomorrow. It's now Tuesday, and I got up after a lie-in. I then was catching up with more of Neighbours and had some lemon curd toast and a cup of tea. I love lemon curd so much. I then listened to a bit of music, and then I got showered and changed and just worked on some illustrations and coloured some of those in, and watched some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos, had some bear cuddles, and then I ordered a Buddy's lunch, this awesome sandwich place one corner from mine, to get for 12 o'clock to have for my lunch. I then just watched some stuff on Netflix and was listening to a bit of Kylie and doing some colouring in of my new illustrations. And then I got myself ready to go off to get my Buddy's lunch, and I headed off and got that. I got back and I had that, and I had a tuna, cheese, onion, lettuce, cucumber toasted wrap with a Belgian bun and a cup of tea, and I'll show you guys that. It was so good. I always saved the cherry till last, which is the best bit for me, with the Belgian bun. And then I headed off to go to the garden centre, my happy place. I love the garden centre so much, and whilst on my way to the garden centre I was listening to some music, and I got some selfies in front of some pretty flowers and blossoms, and was enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies, and the weather has just been so lovely at the moment. Hopefully it lasts. I'm hoping it's like this when we go to Brighton, me and Tash, and it's going to be so good. I'm so excited for our Brighton trip, And then I got up to the garden centre and I got some flower starts from there that I'm show you guys. I was having a lovely walk around the garden centre, looking around there, and was able to get some really pretty flower snaps. I then went off and had a look at the homeware and stationery section, and they still have a lot of their Easter stuff in, so I was having a look at that as well. And then I got some plant starts from the plant section, and I'll show you guys those. I love all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty plant pots and the lovely plant displays they have in there. I was having a lovely look around there, and I just love the garden centre so much. It's my happy place and I could stay there all day if I could. I then got some more flower snaps, and I'm going to show you guys those. Flower and plant photography just makes me so happy, and I just love getting lots of snaps of all the pretty flowers. And then I made my way back, and on the way back I was listening to some music, and I had a drink that I got from the shops and had that in my bag, and definitely needed it as it is so hot. And then on the way back I went through Hackett Woods, and they have lots of lovely blue flowers and lovely little like paths leading down through the woods with all these lovely flowers around it, and I got a snap of that. Let me show you guys. It's so pretty. I love the things I come across on my walks. I then got home and I was watching a bit of Bridgerton season 2, probably my favourite season, and had a cup of tea and some biscuits. I then just read some more of One Day and was listening to a bit of music and working on some illustrations and kind of so dozing. I then tidied up my office, my dolls and dollhouse, and watered my succulents I have in my bedroom window. I need to get some more of the special plant spray from the plant shop at the top of the high street. I'm probably going to get that tomorrow because I'm running low on that. And also need to get myself a new sketch pad, as the one I have been using has been filled up, and I was able to use like 1 or 2 other pages, but I had some room in there. But I need to get a new one so I can start some illustrations in there. And then I was just watching some episodes of Doctor Who, and I watched Together in the Fireplace episode, which is probably my favourite David Tennant episode of Doctor Who. Just love that episode so much, and I am now off to go and just chill before going off to Jigsaw volunteering this evening. I shall see you when I'm back from that. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at Jigsaw volunteering, the first Jigsaw session back after being off for the Easter half term. And I got dropped out there by my dad, and we've gone to Aldi just before that to get the little chicken little bits that I was getting for the belated birthday games night party tea thing that we're going to be having for Tash this Thursday. So I was tasked with getting some chicken bits, like chicken like strips and stuff, and some chicken nuggets and some sauces and stuff like that to have for little party spread. I mean, we all had like assigned jobs to do, and I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be so much fun. And I also got some gherkins, some pickles, gherkins, whatever you want to call them, as I love them, and I also know that Tash loves them as well. So got those as a little treat, and I'm planning to get some pie hats for us all as well. And then I got to Jigsaw, and we were doing some dog treat making, as they have a dog show that Jigsaw are going to be doing on Saturday. And then we went off to Turnberry's, where they had a hall with some stalls which were showing different events that they were going to be doing and different clubs. So we just got given some leaflets and stuff, and there's a few things that I wouldn't mind doing. There's an art group, a florist group where you can learn how to make flower arrangements, and a photography one as well. I don't mind getting some more tips on my photography. And then we headed back to Jigsaw and we were making the biscuits, and they turned out really well, and I'm sure you guys will start with those. It was so much fun, and I'm on a split shift on Saturday when the dog show is, but it doesn't finish till 4 and I finish at 3. I'm doing 10 till 3, 6 till 10, so I'm hoping to pop down and get some of those dog treats to get for Bear. And then we got given these Easter eggs, which is very sweet of them to do so, and one of the volunteers wasn't in today, so I was helping one the session and like supervising and helping with the making of the dog biscuits, and absolutely smashed it and had so much fun, and really liked like showing that I am able to handle things and run the sessions. And yeah, I would have probably been terrified previously, but I was just loving it and really enjoying helping out where needed. And then it was the end of the session, and I then head off to one of the restaurants in the high street. I was going to get myself a drink from there. I was going to get myself a watermelon iced tea, but it was really busy in there, and so I didn't go in there to get a drink in the end. I did, however, get a nice mirror stuff from there. Let me show you. I love that mirror with the lights either side. It's so cute. I then bumped into my mate and was chatting with them, and then I went off to the Co-op and I got myself some peanut butter, as the biscuits that we'd made for the dog show had peanut butter in, but they had this peanut butter that is dog friendly, and it didn't have this ingredient in that is poisonous to dogs. And the word is really long, and the kids at youth club were trying to get me to read it. I was like, I cannot read that, let alone try and pronounce it. So I really was craving some peanut butter toast to have for my breakfast tomorrow, so I got that. And then on the way back I was getting some selfies in front of some of the flowers and blossoms, enjoying the cooler weather later on in the evening as it cooled down. And I then got home and accidentally dropped and broke this peanut butter jar, so I had to chuck that in the bin and went around the corner and got myself some more peanut butter and got myself some cherry cola because I bloody love cherry cola. Had some of that on the way back and got home, and for my tea I had a salad, and I'll show you guys that. The salad was so delicious. I then finished writing my journal entry for today and put that away. I was working on some illustrations and colouring some of those in, and then I was just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse. I just watched some vlogs and TikToks and some furry dog and cat videos. I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits and was reading some more of One Day, and then I watched today's Home Away and UK soaps. I was just watching some TikToks and posting some new TikToks, and I'm now off to go and watch some more episodes of Doctor Who. And I've been rewatching David Tennant's Doctor Who, and he is definitely my favourite Doctor, hands down. And I hope you guys all have a lovely rest of your evening, and I shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Wednesday, and I got up early and was watching some episodes of Bridgerton Season 2, probably my favourite season of Bridgerton, and listened to a bit of music, just drawing, colouring in, and was just reading some more of One Day. I had some peanut butter toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast. I was then just having some bear cuddles and was playing with him out in the garden, and then I was just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse and working on some illustrations and colouring some of those in. I then got myself ready to go off on a walk, and it was a lovely sunny day. There were lovely blue skies, and the weather has just been so beautiful at the moment. And so I got my cap on, got my bag and my headphones, and was listening to some music on my headphones whilst on my walk, and was just enjoying the beautiful weather. And then I headed up to the high street and had like one of the child shops. I went also another book shops and into W. Smith's and was having a look around there. And then I popped to one of the flower shops and I got some flower sacks. got such lovely bouquets of flowers in there, and I love the sunflowers they have in there at the moment. Had to get some of those. I love sunflowers. Sunflowers, roses and dahlias are probably my 3 favourite flowers to get snaps of. They're just such pretty flowers. I was then just having a lovely chat with the flower shop keepers, and they complimented me on my flower photography I got from the flower shop and posted onto my Facebook, tagging them in it, and said how beautiful the flowers I got snaps of were, and like how I captured the flowers, which was really sweet of them. And then I got some plants up from the plant section. Those leaves with the patterns on are so pretty. I love the colours on those leaves and all the succulents and cactuses and pretty plant pots. I then head off to look around some more of the shops and charity shops and bumped into one of my friends, so I was chatting with them and they were asking all about how Bear was getting on. And then I went off to the Co-op and got myself some lunch from there, and I'd got myself some chicken Caesar wraps and some barbecue hula hoops, and I love barbecue hula hoops. They're one of my favourite type of hula hoops, and also got myself a cola and drank some of that on my way home as it's so hot out there. And then I got home and I had my chicken Caesar wraps and barbecue hula hoops and a bit more of my cola whilst working on some illustrations and cutting some more of those in. I then was listening to a bit of music and just watched some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos, and then I was just watching some true crime drama podcasts. I love that kind of stuff. And then my dad was at fishing and my mum had gone off to a doctor's appointment, and so I was making sure Bear was alright and was just having lots of bear cuddles with him, and he's now fast asleep, bless him. And we were playing out in the garden for a little bit, and then my mum got back and I've got work tonight doing 6-style clothes, so I got my uniform ready for that. And then I was just sorting out my Bridget doll out into a new look, and I'm going to show you guys that. Here's my Bridget doll's newest look. Starting off with the shoes, she's got these cream coloured shoes with daisies on, and then this pink boho really pretty patterned dress with lots of lovely patterns all over. Then she's got this denim jacket with some roses on and her black hat, and it's giving me festival vibes, Coachella vibes, and I just absolutely love this look. It's giving festival vibes like Coachella or Glastonbury, and I've just been listening to a bit of Lady Gaga, and her Coachella set was iconic. Can't believe I'm seeing her in October, and I'm now off to go and write some more of my journal, work on some more of my illustrations and colour some more of those in, and just going to be chilling before going off to work this evening. I shall see you with more of the vlog when I'm back from work. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back for being at work. I'd worked 6 till close, and it was me and one other colleague on shift. I got dropped to work, got clocked in to put my bag away, and had my drink that I got to have while on shift at work, and was drinking that throughout my shift, keeping hydrated as it's so hot. It was really nice as we had all the windows and doors open, so it was making it nice and airy, so it wasn't too hot and stuffy in there, thankfully. And I was running lots of food and drinks, doing food and drink orders and drinks making, and cleaning lots of tables, and just getting on with lots of the cleaning and clothes jobs that could be done. And we absolutely smashed the clothes, and we had quite a lot of people sitting outside and having drinks and enjoying the lovely sunshine, and it was a lovely evening, so it was good weather to have people in having drinks. And then I finished about 10ish, I then clocked off and got my bag and headed off to the pub and got myself a drink from there, and ended up chilling with some of my mates that were at the pub. And then I made way back, and on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones, and I got home and got into my PJs, and then for my tea I had some curry, and I'll show you guys that. The chicken curry was so delicious, and then me and my mum were just watching this true crime documentary, and I got my new phone case in the post whilst at work, and it's this really cool flower print, and it's a case so you put all your cards inside, and can't wait to put this on. I have a temporary one on that I got from the phone shop where getting my phone screen and camera fixed, so I will be able to use that as well. So if I get bored of having this on, I can always put the one I've got on my phone case now on, so I can change up a little bit. And I am now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and I shall see you more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Thursday, and I got up early ready to go off to the garden centre, my happy place, and I had some toast in the cup of tea for breakfast. Had some bear cud, and then getting so big, especially when he lies stretched out. It shows how big he's getting. I then just listened to a bit of music and was watching a bit of TV, and then I head off to go to get the bus to the garden centre, and I had to run back and put my phone in my new phone case that arrived last night, and I love it. It's got flowers all over it that you would have seen in yesterday's vlog clips, and I just love it. It's such a me phone case. I then head off to get the bus, and the bus arrived very quickly, so I didn't have to wait long. I then got to the garden centre, and I had to cross over the main road to head down the country lane where the garden centre is, and crossing over that main road is always so stressful because cars just go so quickly along that road. I managed to get down to the garden centre in one piece, and I then got into the garden centre and was having a look around there, and was getting some really pretty selfies at the front of the flower and plant displays they have in there. I love all the little like home setups they have. It's kind of like IKEA with all the little house setups. It's very cute. So I was having a look around there and having a look at all the homeware section and the stationery and sweet and toy section and the jelly cats. Oh god, I just love jelly cats. I didn't get any. I was close to getting one, but I didn't because they're so goddamn expensive. If they were cheaper maybe, but they're so expensive, but it's just so cute. And I was also tempted to get a sunflower mug because you know how much I love my mugs. I'm a mug for mugs, you should say, and I love sunflowers as well, but I didn't get that. And then I went off to the plant section and I got some plants out. That plant section is huge. I was having a lovely look around there at all the lovely succulents and cactuses and the plants with all the lovely colours and patterns on. And I love that plant like white unit with all the plants coming out of the drawers. It's just so beautiful, and all the lovely little like jars with all the plants in, and all the plant shelves with all the plants hanging off it. It's like a little jungle. I then head off out into the outside area of the garden centre where they have this humongous flower section, and I was in flower heaven. They had so many flowers. It was like a sea of colourful flowers. It was just so beautiful, and I just love all the colourful flowers and all the dahlias. They had so many dahlias. As you can imagine, I was just in my element. I love dahlias. They're my favourite flowers to get photos of, and I was able to get some really pretty colourful flower snaps with lovely patterns on, and some sunflower snaps, and just having a lovely look around there. And I'll show you guys the flower snaps that I got. I was able to get so many flower snaps from there. I could be there all day if I could. And I got this flower snap with this statue with flowers around it, and it's just so pretty. I love all the statues and fountains they also have in there. And I was looking at some of the summer houses they have. I would love to get a summer house to have up at the top of the garden as a little like book nook to go in and read all my books and stuff, maybe someday. And then I head off into the cafe to have some lunch, and I got myself a tuna melt with some salad and a bit of lemon drizzle cake with a pot of tea, and I'm going to show you guys that. The tuna panini was so good, really cheesy, just how I like it, and the lemon drizzle as well, and the pot of tea that I had, I was able to get 3 pots of tea out of that, which was really good. I then stayed in there for a little bit and just let my fugue down, and then I head off and had a look at some more at the garden centre, and I got some more flower snaps. I couldn't resist getting some more flowers. That's just such lovely colourful flowers in there, and I love flower and plant photography so much. I then headed off to get the bus back, and I got the bus off by Aldi and went off to the card factory to get some party hats for tonight, as we're going to be having a early birthday celebrations for Tash, as it's her birthday next Thursday, but she's going to be going to a birthday meal in the evening, so she won't be able to attend games night next Thursday, so we're doing it tonight instead. So I got some party hats, and I also got a congratulations on your wedding card for my family friends who just got married last Thursday, and so I'm going to be giving that to them. And then I went off to this cooking shop slash cafe, and they always have really cute little trinkets in there, like mugs, notepads and bits and pieces like that, and ended up getting myself a mug from there. I got this mug that's very me. It's got all these little toadstools on and leaves. I love this type of stuff, whimsical fairy kind of stuff with toadstools on. I've got one similar to this already, but I just couldn't resist getting this. And I also got a notebook from WH Smith's, like sketch pad, to put my illustrations in, as my other one was filled up and was having to use some of the pages in the last one just finished, and having to like try do some where I had room in there. So I've got a new one with lots of new illustrations to be done, and cannot wait to start doing some illustrations in here. And then I had a look once at the child shops, and I got this blue jumper here, and I know it's not jumper weather at the moment, but it shall be soon, like in like winter time, like autumn winter time, which is my favorite time of year, and I cannot wait to have sweater weather again. I love sweater weather so much, and I'm going to try this on for you guys. Here is my new jumper I got from the child shops. It's such a good fit, a really nice colour. Bloody love sweater weather. Can't wait to be able to wear this when it gets a little bit chillier, and yeah, I just love how it looks on me. Fits really well as well. That jumper was such a good child shop find. I love sweater weather, and that colour is so pretty. It's like a blue turquoisey colour. I then went off to the shops and got myself a drink from there, as it's so hot. Sat on a bench and had that, and then head off to the pub where my mate was starting at 4, and gave him and his wife congratulations on your wedding card, and gave him a big hug. I'm planning to have a coffee catch up soon. I then got home and chilled by the fan to cool down, as it's so hot, and we're supposed to be having touch rugby tonight, but I don't think it's going to be on tonight, as I don't think we've got many people able to come. I think there's not many people responding, so it's not going to be on until next week now. And so I'm now just going to be working on some illustrations in my new sketch pad, and listen to some music and just chilling before going off to games night this evening. And I have been obsessed with the new Sugababes song with the original lineup called Weeds. It's just such a good song, and I have been listening to that on repeat, so probably going to be listening to that and some other songs. I was doing some illustrations and just going to be colouring in some of my illustrations with my new gel pens, which are so good, and I shall see you with more of the vlog when I'm back. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at games night at Jen's. I got dropped down to games night by my dad. I got there and we were setting up the party tea that we were going to be having, and I brought along a load of frozen chicken bits from Aldi, and then we got all of that ready, and there was about 9 of us, I think there was 10 of us all together, and we had a party spread, and I'm going to show you guys snaps of that. The food was so good. We then gave Tash some birthday presents, and I gave her a jar of gherkins, as she loves gherkins like myself, and then we were playing some games, and it just had such a great evening, lots of laughs, lots of fun. And then I made way back with Tash and Jamie, and they brought down some deck chairs and a bag with some drinks and stuff, so I helped them take that back, and then they headed off one way and I went off the other, and I gave them both hugs and thanked them for a lovely evening. And at this point it was pretty late in the evening, so no one was going to be able to pick us up, so we had to walk. And I then headed off and I listened to music on my headphones, as I don't like walking home later in the evening as it's so silent and so eerie, so listening to the music definitely helps. I then got back and I then finished writing my journal entry and put that away, and I had a cup of tea in my new mug that I got from the shops today. And I forgot to show you guys the Mrs. Potts and Chip mugs that were in the shop where I got that mug. I'll show you guys those. They're so cute, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, put it that way, and then I'm going to be watching Today's Home and Away and UK Soaps. And I've picked a DVD to take to Morning Group tomorrow, as we're going to be having a little movie morning, and we're going to be bringing a DVD in and we're going to be voting on which one to watch. And so I'm going to be sorting that out for tomorrow, and we'll see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Friday. I hope you guys are all having a lovely end to your week, almost a weekend. I got up early, ready to go off to Morning Group, and had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast, watched a bit of TV and had some bear cuddles. And then I got dropped to Morning Group, and we were having a movie morning, and we brought in DVDs to have a vote on which DVD we were going to watch. And I brought in Ever After. One of the other members of the group had brought in Paddington, and another member of the group had brought in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I didn't mind what film we watched, they were all very good choices. So we had a hat, we wrote them down on bits of paper which ones we wanted to watch, and then put them in, and then it got picked out of a hat, and we ended up watching Paddington in Peru, the newest Paddington, and I love the Paddington films, so I did not mind, and it's such a good film. I've watched it already and didn't mind watching that again. And we had some popcorn as well, and I'm show you guys the snaps I got from the movie morning. I love Paddington, and the popcorn was so good. I had some sweet and salty popcorn, and after that we had some cups of tea and coffee and some biscuits in the kitchen, and just had a bit of a NASA, and we're planning about what we're going to be doing next week. And then I got picked up by my mum, got back and gave Bear his lunch, and then we headed off to go out for lunch with my grandma. And my mum picked my grandma up, and on the way to pick my grandma up, she dropped me down the bottom of the road, and I walked up, as my dad's got some stuff in the back of the car at the moment, so it meant I was able to fit in the car as well. So a nice stroll up, and I got there before my mum and grandma and got us a table. And whilst waiting for them to arrive, I got a Amir Safi from there that I'm showing. You know how much I love Amir Safi. They then arrived, and I had an orange and passion fruit J2O. I love J2O so much, they're so good. And had a salad, and I'm going to show you guys that. The salad was so good, trying to be healthy after all that Easter chocolate. I then headed off and had a look on some of the charity shops, and went off to one of the book shops, and I love the smell of old books, and also popped into W.H. Smith and was having a look around there. I then bumped into some of my friends who were sat outside one of the restaurants, so I was having a chat with them. I then popped to one of the pubs where my mate Tom works. I was having a nice catch up with him, and stuck my head into one of the new coffee shops that's opening in the high street, and it was really nice in there. I'll have to pop in there with Tash sometime. And then I popped to the plant shop at the top of the high street, and I got some plants up. They've always got such lovely plant displays in there. I was having a good look around there. I love all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty patterned leaves, and all the pretty patterns on the plant pots as well. I then was having a lovely chat with a plant shopkeeper in there, and then I made my way back, and on the way back I popped to Co-op and got myself some mac and cheese to have for tea this evening after work. I then went off for more of my walk as I'm enjoying the sunshine and blue skies, and I'm loving this sunshine that we're having at the moment. And I've caught the sun a bit, so I've had multiple people asking me if I've been away on abroad, and I was like, nope, just been out on my walks enjoying the sunshine. and also had someone say that I looked like I'd lost weight, which is always nice to hear when people think that you've lost weight. And yeah, I have been trying to eat a little bit healthier and do a little bit more walking and stuff, so maybe it's working, which is good. And then I got myself some drinks from the shop just around the corner from mine for work this evening and one for tomorrow. And got home, gave Tash a call and was just having a good chit chat with her. And it's me, her and one of our colleagues on work this evening. I'm doing 6 till close, and I got my uniform ready for that, and we're going to absolutely slay the close. Always love closing with Tash, have so much fun on shift with her. And we are going to Brighton in 2 weeks time, and we're going to be getting the train now. We were going to be getting the coach, but we're getting the train now instead, and I'm so excited for that. It's going to be so good, and it's coming around so quickly. I've got quite a busy week next week because multiple people are away on holiday at the moment. I think this is the time where quite a lot of people are going on holiday, so I've got quite a lot of shifts, which is good because it means the week will go quickly, and before I know it, we'll be on holiday. And I can't wait to have a week off in Brighton and explore there. It's going to be so cool. Never been, it's my first time going to Brighton, so I'm very excited about that. I then got back and was just watching some episodes of Doctor Who, listened to a bit of music and did some drawing and colouring in as I'd gone for a little walk. And I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and was just reading some more for one day, and I'm now off to go and chill before going off to work this evening. I shall see you when I'm back from work. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at work. I had work 5 till 10, so I got myself ready for work, and I thought I was doing a 6 till close, but that's next Friday, which one of my other colleagues is doing now. So I got myself a bit confused. Luckily, Tash reminded me that I was starting at 5 and not 6. So I then got dropped to work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and it was just me and Tash to start with. And then one of our other colleagues came in at 6:30, and I was just doing lots of the cleaning and clothes jobs that I could get done, and cleaning tables, ordering lots of food and drinks, and doing some food, drink orders and drinks making. I was cleaning lots of tables outside as it was lovely and sunny, so there were lots of people sitting inside as well as outside. So there was lots of tables to clean outside. And then it got quite busy. We had lots of people in for food and drinks, quite a lot of big tables coming in for food and drinks, and lots of milkshakes and smoothies. And it's the start of the bank holiday weekend, so as you can imagine, it got pretty busy. I then fished at 10, clocked off, got my bag, and then got changed into this top that I'm wearing right now that I had put in my bag. And I then went off to the pub and had a drink there, and saw my mate Tom and was having a good catch up with him. And then I got back and I got my uniform ready for work tomorrow. I was supposed to be doing a 10 till 3, 6 till 10, but I'm now doing a 9 till 3, 6 till 10, as one of my colleagues asked if they could come in at 10 instead of 9 and that I could start at 9. So I was like, yeah, sure, no worries. It means I'm opening with Tash and we're going to absolutely slay. And then I had my tea and I had mac and cheese, and I'll show you guys that. The mac and cheese was so delicious, nice and cheesy, just how I like it. And my mum was at my older sister's house and she got back, and I then finished writing my journal entry and put that away. And I'm now off to go and watch today's Home Away and UK Soaps, and I shall see you with more vlog tomorrow. It's now Saturday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely start to your weekend. I got up, showered and changed, ready for work. I had work 9 till 3, 6 till 10. I was supposed to be starting at 10, but I let one of my other colleagues start at 10, and I started at 9 instead. And I had some breakfast, watched a bit of TV, and was listening to some music and having some bear cuddles. And my dad was taking Bear off to his public classes, which meant I had to walk to work. So I then headed off to work and was listening to the music on my headphones, enjoying the sunshine, and had a lovely stroll up. And I ended up getting up to work a little bit early, so just before work I popped to the flower shop and got some flowers now. They've always got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there with lovely colours on. I love all the pinks and the sunflowers and all the roses. It's just so pretty. And I was then having a lovely chat with the flower shop keepers in there. I then got some plant flowers from the plant section. The patterns on those leaves are just so beautiful. I love all the pretty colours and patterns on those succulents and cactuses, and all the plants hanging from the windows. It's like a little jungle in there. I then got to work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and it was me and 3 other people on shift, and it was just me and one other colleague to start with at first, and so I helped open up, and then I was just doing lots of food and drink orders and drinks making, and went lots of food and cleaning lots of tables, and so on, chatting to some of the regulars, and it got quite busy. And we had a dog show from Jigsaw where I volunteer on Tuesday nights, and so with that dog show, our pergola, little like food van that we have, was out there for one of our colleagues, Jen, to use for that, which meant we didn't have many tills. We had 1 till, so it meant it was quite busy, only having 1 till to use, as one was using one of them for a wedding event that we had, and another one was using the other one for the pickler for the dog show that's happening just outside our workplace. So it was a little bit stressful, but we got through it. We had a great team on, and I then finished at 3, clocked off, got changed to the t-shirt I'm wearing right now. I love this t-shirt so much with all the leaves all over it. And then I headed off to Greggs and got myself a Greggs lunch, and I had a winged donut with pink icing and a cheese onion bake and an apple juice. I love apple juice so much. I then went off and had a look at some of the charge shots, and then I went off to W. Smith's and one of the bookshops, and I ended up getting a t-shirt from one of the charge shops, and I'm going to show you guys that. Here is my new t-shirt I got from one of the charge shops. It's this green striped t-shirt. I love striped t-shirts. It's a really good fit, and I love the charge shop find. Always have such good clothes in there. At first I wasn't sure if I liked the t-shirt or not, and I thought it might look a bit weird on me, but I actually really like it now. It's grown on me. I then made my way back, and on my way back I was listening to some music on my headphones, and the weather had gone overcast, which is my favourite type of weather, when it's not too hot, not too cold, just that perfect weather in the middle, a little bit of a breeze, perfect. I then got this snap of some pretty yellow flowers, and I'll show you guys that. They're so beautiful. There's a load of those at my town's castle around one of the windows that I always like to get a selfie in front of, and they've just started to bloom and they look so pretty, so I'm going to probably head down there tomorrow after work to get some flower snaps from the gardens, as all the spring flowers and blossoms are now in full bloom, and it looks just so pretty. I then got home and I had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and was just reading some more of One Day, listening to a bit of music and just writing some more for my journal, and I've just been working on some illustrations in my new sketch pad, and I did a new one and coloured that in, and I'll show you guys a clip of that. Here's my newest illustration for you guys. She's got this pantsuit on with a blue colour on here. I just love this colour, blue, like baby blue, and she's got a white long sleeve shirt underneath that with a white collar, and it's got, of course, some shoulder pads, and then there's some acrylic nails, and there's a ring on, and then she's got this daisy bag, and she's got a flower crown and like headband, and then a flower earring. She's got some red lips and her long flowing hair, and some flower boots with all floral all over it, which I love. And this is the first one in my new illustration book. I love colouring them in, it just adds that little bit more magic to them, and I just really like how it looks with them colouring in them with the gel pens, especially the sparkly ones, just makes them look so pretty. And then I was just watching some episodes of Doctor Who and can't wait for new Doctor Who this evening, and I'm now just going to be chilling and watching some more Doctor Who. I've just been watching lots of David Tennant's Doctor's episodes with Donna, the Doctor and Donna. I just love those two together, and I shall see you when I'm back from work. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at work. I'd work 6 till 10, and it's the second part to my split shift. And I got dropped back to work, got clocked back into work and put my bag away, and I'd got myself a drink from the corner shop just before work, and it was me and 3 other colleagues on shift, and we were just doing lots of food and drink orders, running lots of food and drinks and cleaning tables, and I saw and chatted to some of the regulars, and we had lots of people sitting inside as well as outside. And then it quieted down, and one of my colleagues I was on shift with finished about 8ish, and I ended up finishing about 9, and I clocked off, got my bag, and then got picked up by my dad. I then got home and I'd got some dog biscuits from the dog show that Jigsaw had done earlier on this afternoon, and had forgot to give him one back from work earlier on, so I gave him one of those and he really enjoyed those. And I'm going to show you guys a snap of the biscuits that I'd made with Jigsaw that we had sold at the dog show. They're so cute, they're little bones. And then I got into my PJs and I got my work uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing a 10 till 3. I then had my tea, and for my tea I had spaghetti bolognese. I'm going to show you guys that. The spaghetti bolognese was so delicious. Spaghetti has to be one of my favourite meals to have, especially with lots of Parmesan cheese piled on top. I then finished writing my journal entry for today and put that away, and my older sister had popped over and we just listened to a bit of music and having a good catch up, and then she headed off home, and I then had some cracker bread with a cup of tea and was reading some more of One Day. And I'm now off to go and watch new Doctor Who, and I shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Sunday. I hope you guys are all having a lovely Sunday rest. I got up early ready for work. I was supposed to be doing a 10 till 3, but I ended up doing 9:45 till 3 as Tash was running a little bit late. I then got to work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and it was me, Tia and Tash, and it was pretty busy, so I was running lots of food and drinks, doing some food and drink orders and drinks making and cleaning tables, and I saw and chatted to some of the regulars, and it was going well until I ended up pouring boiling hot coffee all over my stomach. So got a wet flannel and put that on and held that on there, and then I got that bandaged up. Tia was really good and she helped get that bandaged up and put some burn gel on there that really helped make it sting less. And I then was just running some more food and drinks and cleaning tables, and we had a massive booking come in about 2:15, so it got quite busy again. And then one of our other colleagues started at 3, and me and Tash finished at 3 and then clocked off, and I got my bag, and then we went off to the lounge and had some lunch, and I had a halloumi burger with some fries and some coleslaw with a watermelon iced tea, and I'll show you guys a snap of that. It was so delicious. Then Tash had to head home and take her dogs for a walk. I then headed off down to my town's castle, and I got some snaps of the town's castle's gardens, and all the flowers are starting to bloom, and they've got loads of lovely roses, and I got some snaps on that. They're so beautiful, and the gardens are so beautifully kept. I also got some selfies in front of some of the flowers. I got 2 selfies in front of the window with all these lovely pink and yellow flowers around it, and it's so pretty. I then got this pretty plant snap from the garden with these lovely orange leaves, and I'm going to show you guys that. I love those colours on those leaves. I was then chatting with some people who had come like myself to visit the gardens, and was telling them all about the flowers and the rose garden and making friends wherever I go. I then got some more flower snacks just before leaving, and I'll show you guys those. The gardens are just so lovely, and there's so much to see, and it just smells so good. And then I made my way home, and on my way back I was listening to some music on my headphones, enjoying the sunshine and blue skies, and the weather has just been so lovely. And I then got some more flower snacks, and I'll show you guys those. I just love flower photography so much. I then got home and I put my work clothes in the wash and my work bag away, and my grandma was over. So it's my older brother and his girlfriend and my older sister, and we were going to be having a Sunday roast. And I showed my mum the burn I had got from the coffee whilst at work, and I probably should have come home straight away from work, but I didn't think it was that bad and it wasn't hurting that much, and I had the bandage on, so I thought it'd be okay, but it did get quite sore, so it's a shame on me because I probably should have gone home. They did say, do you want to go home, but I was like, no, I'll be fine. And so I probably should have come straight home and then not gone to the Castle Gardens as well, and not gone out for food. I probably should have just come straight home, but I kind of forgot about it because it was bandaged up. I kind of forgot about it, and then of course when I got back, and then they were like, let's see the burn, and I was like, what burn? And I was like, oh, that burn. Dafty me. So we then had to go to the minor injury unit, and they bandaged it up. They literally mummified my stomach, and I was supposed to be working tomorrow doing 11 till 2, but they said not to do anything strenuous and to rest it, and it's looking likely that I probably won't be back to work until I'm back from my holiday, because I'm off to Brighton next week, so not this week, the week after. So it will give me plenty of time to rest up and heal before then, and should have plenty of time to heal up before going off to Brighton with Tash. And so I have had that bandaged up, and I'm going back to the minor injury unit tomorrow at the same time, about 5ish, to have it checked over, and I'm just gonna have to keep rested and not do anything too strenuous, and I'm sure it will all be okay. And tonight I've just got to keep an eye on myself and make sure that I don't have, I can't remember what it's called now, not septic shock, there's other version which is basically like similar to sepsis, so I've just got to keep out, like, an eye out for things like that, but it should be alright. And I feel alright at the moment. Yeah, it's a little bit of a discomfort, but it's okay. And the nurse that saw me was so lovely, and I was in good hands. And then, so my older sister and my older brother's girlfriend had taken me, so on the way back we got some milkshakes and McFlys. I just saw a milkshake. Then we got back and I showed everyone the bandages around my stomach. So it's like they wrapped it around. It's like I'm like mummified from the chest down. And so after showing them that, my mum was then getting the tea finished, and we had our Sunday roast, and I want to show you guys a snap of that. The Sunday roast was so delicious, and we had wing donuts and pudding. Then we tidied away. I was going to be helping out, but my mum told me to sit down and not do anything, because I've been told not to do anything strenuous, and also that I will be getting a little bit of pampering, which is quite nice, and I don't mind if I do. And then we were just watching the rest of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which I started watching, and it's just such a great film. And then my dad dropped my grandma home, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then we're going to be playing some games of Ludo, and I was supposed to be going to my work's quiz with Tash. I called her up just before going off to the Mind Energy unit to say that I do not think I'll be going to the quiz, and I shall not be. I'm going to be keeping it steady for the next few days and just resting up. And I hope you guys have all had a lovely week and weekend, and have a great new week ahead. I shall see you in a new vlog coming very soon.